Hey guys, Mr. Backward here. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to my flipped classroom. Now before we get into what a flipped classroom is, I first want to take a second to talk about what my classroom used to look like. Before I decided to flip my classroom, the first 5 to 10 minutes of class would be used as sort of like a warm-up time. And in that warm-up time, I would either answer questions from the previous night's homework, or there may be some practice problems up on the board that we would work through together. From there, the next 35 to 40 minutes would be spent giving the new lesson for the day. And then if we were lucky, there would maybe be 5 to 10 minutes at the end of class where students could start practicing some of those problems based on the lesson they just received. And I just wasn't sure that this was the best way to spend the limited class time that I had with my students. So I started doing some research, and I found one question that really got me thinking. And the question is, what is the best use of the face-to-face time that I have with my students? And that's really what got me interested in the flipped classroom. So now let's take that traditional classroom that most of us are used to and compare it to a flipped classroom. So we've already talked a little bit about what a traditional classroom looks like. So in class, students receive the lesson via a lecture. And then after class, or at home, students are expected to work on either book problems or maybe a worksheet to try to reinforce some of those ideas that showed up in the lecture. Well, a flipped classroom, at its very basics, interchanges the roles of the class time and the at-home time. So now, as far as receiving that lecture or receiving new information, that's going to typically happen at home in the form of a video. And then what's going to happen in class is there's going to be an opportunity to work on problems either individually or as a group to reinforce that content that was covered in the video. So we've talked a little bit about what a flipped classroom is, but now let's talk about why I decided to flip my classroom. And the first reason why I decided to flip my classroom is because each student learns at their own pace. When I would lecture, the class would move at the pace that I wanted it to move at. Now that was okay for some students, but that also may have been too fast for other students and they would get frustrated because they weren't able to keep up, or that could even have been too slow for other students and they were getting bored in class. Having the videos recorded and posted on YouTube allows students to self-pace themselves. So they can pause the video, they can rewind the video, or even fast forward the video to go at whatever pace they need to. The second reason why is because students just miss class time. Now this could be for sports, or maybe a student is sick, or maybe they've got an appointment. For whatever reason, at some point throughout the year, a student is probably going to miss some class time. Now math is one of those topics that continually builds on itself. So if you miss a topic, you might be behind for 1 or 2 chapters because you need that basic information before you can move any further. Because these videos are posted on YouTube, students can access them at any time from any place via a smartphone or a computer. They're always available to a student whether they're in class or not. The third reason I have is it allows me to have more one-on-one time with my students. I'm able to answer more of my students' questions. I can see more of my students' work, and I'm able to build a better relationship with my students because there's more time for interaction instead of just me standing up in front of the classroom for 40 minutes delivering a lecture. So you may be wondering, what's homework going to look like now? Most nights, students are going to be assigned a video to watch. And as they're watching that video, my expectation of them is to take notes just like they would if they were sitting in class. Since we're no longer doing the lessons and lectures in class, that really frees up class time. And class time is very flexible. Some students will use this time to get their questions answered. Students may choose to work on some of the practice problems, either individually or in a group. and other students may choose to utilize this time to even watch more videos. The benefit to this is, as all of these things are happening, I'm free and I'm available floating around the room to help them out with the material wherever they're at. So if they're working on a problem and they get stuck, I'm there to help them through that. Or if they're watching a video and they don't quite understand a part, again, I'm there to help them through that. So the flipped classroom is something that I'm very excited about. It really gives students a more individualized learning experience because they're able to go at their own pace. They can pause the videos, rewind the videos, rewatch the videos as much as they need to. And then once they feel comfortable, they can start working on some of those practice problems to work towards mastery of that content. I'm really excited for this school year to get started. I hope you're also very excited. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to email me or give me a call. Thanks for watching.